This is Rob Tebbutt for Boxing Social in association with Betfred. Been a little while, but I'm joined by David Higgins of Duco Events. We're here at Parker-Chisora 2 press conference in Manchester. David, been a while, nice to see you.
Yes, it's great to be back on the world's greatest media network.
I assume you're talking about Boxing Social and not TYSON, but we won't upset anybody, we won't name any names. It's been a while. I think the last time we mentioned there, the last time we saw you on these shores, I think was Parker-Whyte, which was quite a while ago.
Yeah, that's probably right. Parker-Whyte. What was that? 2018, July. So 3 years or so.
Good to be back up there with your old mate Eddie Hearn on the top table. It's quite cordial between you two nowadays, isn't it?
Yeah, it's good to be back with the opportunity. Joseph Parker's ranked number 2, I think, with WBO. So to be that close to a title shot and to be earning a living in a pandemic, yeah, no complaints.
Now, since the last time I spoke to you, you have become manager David Higgins as opposed to co-promoter. Of course, the manager or training role certainly was taken by Kevin Barry. Just want to speak to you about that because I've not spoken to you about it since. Obviously, Joseph Parker and Kevin Barry amicably parted ways on both accounts there. But did you feel like it was the right time for Joe to make the change in his career?
Yeah, I think a 7-odd year stint together is a decent stint together, and Joseph has learned a lot from Kevin Barry, and they went to the world title and won it. They defended the world title. So, job well done, and credits to the team and to Kevin. But I think things were getting a bit same, and I'm sure Kevin would be the first to acknowledge that as well as Joseph. And so maybe time to sort of shake things up a bit and freshen things up a bit.
Now, obviously, they only had 6 weeks or so, I believe, to work together for the first fight, Andy Lee and Joseph Parker. But from what you saw then, and I'm sure what you've heard between the break between that and this fight, what do you make of the new partnership? And I'm assuming at least that you think will be a fruitful one.
Yeah, well, they did only have 6 weeks or less together, but I think we saw Joseph a bit more calm in the fight. The footwork was a bit better, and they get on well. So there's certainly enough there for us to think that it could be the right move and a fruitful partnership. And this time they've had more time together. So, I think Andy's been just trying to drill into Joseph simple good habits.
Simple good habits indeed. And of course, Andy, by his own admission, being from the Kronk gym, so it's something that's certainly has shot to prominence even more so in the last couple of years. He loves a knockout. He likes an aggressive fighter, which is one of the, I guess you could call it, criticisms that have been levelled against Joseph in his career. Not a bit nice, not nasty enough. Do you think that's a fair comment over the years, and do you think we could see a more aggressive Joseph Parker this weekend?
Yeah, I think Joseph would agree with that and acknowledge that he could have a bit more intent, leave it all in the ring, like the Joshua fight. Didn't quite leave it all in the ring, so it's maybe better to get knocked out trying to win than, so. Although he's done well, he's been world champion, he's knocked out more than 20 people, so on his day he can knock anyone out. But I think rather than searching for the knockout, Andy and him have been working on being present every split second, so that when the opportunity comes, it's taken.
I spoke to Eddie Hearn earlier and mentioned, of course, the heavyweight division is always politics. There's always some sort of hold-up, and there's a significant logjam at the minute, all being well for Joseph Parker, and he beats Derek Chisora this weekend, which I'm sure you'll be hoping and predicting that he will. Where does he go next?
Well, got to be open-minded. It's just modelling up what are the opponent options, what's the risk return, and then making that deal. I think Joyce has been hounding us. That could be a good fight, but there are other options too, but we won't worry about that till after Saturday.
I remember when that was being brought up, a certain Sam Jones, of course, is somebody who Joseph knows well. Kevin Barry, of course, former trainer of Joe, knows well. I think he was quite relishing the opportunity or the prospect of sitting at the top table with you. I think that'd be quite fun.
Yeah, look, we'll just take what comes.
You've matured in your old age, I think, David. I remember the David Higgins who came over here beforehand. You're not quite the same David Higgins anymore, are you?
Well, that's the funny thing about the passing of time. People change over time.
How do you think you've changed?
Oh, I think you just hit the nail on the head. Maybe I'm starting to grow up now that my hair's going grey.
Just want to get your opinion on a few other things in the heavyweight division. Of course, Joseph and Andy, their job is to focus straight ahead. Being a promoter, manager, everybody has to have a little look around what everybody else is doing. Usyk versus Joshua. Joshua, somebody that you know well. Of course, Joseph being in the other corner one night. First of all, what did you make of the first fight? And if indeed we do see the rematch, how do you see that playing out?
I thought Usyk would probably win the first fight, just because I think he's a better all-round boxer, like an assassin, and he did win. But then again, Joshua, if he bullies Usyk and uses his height, weight, reach, he can knock anyone out. So it'd be courageous for Joshua to go back in with Usyk, but he might well do that, and it could go either way. If I had to bet my house, I'd probably go Usyk again.
And of course, somebody else that you know, being in the opposite corner, Fury-Whyte. I think he's trying to get that WBC title fight along with Tyson Fury, somebody who Joseph is, I think he described it as his bromance with Tyson Fury. How do you see that fight happening if it comes off?
It's an odd fight. You've got the Tyson's height and reach, and Dillian. Tyson I think is number one, and so I'd have to put Tyson as the favourite. But again, Dillian's a fighter. Like, he doesn't leave anything in the corner. He'll go down trying. So if he has a good day and Tyson has a bad day, it could go the other way. But again, if I had to bet, I'd be going with Tyson Fury.
Last one on the heavyweight division. I'm going to give you the floor now for your prediction. How does the fight end this weekend? Joseph Parker versus Derek Chisora.
I think Chisora will come out swinging. Joseph will stick to his game plan. They'll have a few dust-ups, and then I see Joseph overcoming him in the later rounds and winning by stoppage. Okay, well, David Higgins, always a pleasure catching up with you. It has been a while. Hopefully you don't have to wait 3 years until the next one. And we'll catch up with you soon. Thanks very much for speaking to Boxing Social. Thank you very much. Cheers, thank you.